Hi everyone, I'm Louise and welcome to the first video I'm doing in a new project. By trade, I'm a live sound engineer, and this series I plan to explore and explain some of the terms and aspects involved in live sound, but also hopefully demystifying and answering some of the most commonly asked questions. Today's video is a rig rundown and a demo of the live mixdown studio I've set up at home to keep myself amused during these current times, but I'm also going to be demoing a little bit of how I'm making these videos for you all. So when I say live mixdown studio, the reason I use that term and not just normal studio is because when I do gigs live, I'll record them as they are. So it's a straight one through of how that performance happened on that day. And usually if I'm recording them, I've used this desk at a concert. It's maybe not necessarily the desk that is being used to do the sound at front, but that's a different story we'll get into in another video. But with these desks, for example, because digital's all singing, all dancing these days, I can record it all, and as you can see on the screen, that I can basically listen back to the multi-tracks. So when I'm in my live mixdown studio, I take the desk out, the laptop behind me, as you can see here, I've had that at the concert previously and it's recorded the multi-tracks, which is all these different tracks, and I listen back and I mix it down. One of the major differences that I will do in live mixdown rather than studio mixdown is that I will still run it through like a gig from start to finish. So I'll mix it down as if I did on the day when I did it. Now, the reason that that is completely different from the tracks I'm already listening to is they have no processing, they have no equalisation or any dynamic done to them. It's just the raw preamp microphone input, no frills, no bows. So I take that raw input, as it were, of all these multi-tracks, and when I'm listening back to it, I can choose to do it in the DAW, a digital audio workstation like this, Cubase, but I prefer not to. I recorded it on the desk live, so I mix it down live, and that allows me the ability, because it's a digital desk, that I can use all the varying different dynamics, the effects, basically anything that I might have done at that gig itself, and keep it sounding slightly more organic. Again, the reason for this is often to capture things like the crowd noise and generally the ambience and the essence of the concert itself. We would have what we'd call ambient mics. Any live recording of a concert, DVD or televised, whenever you're hearing the crowd cheering, that's usually an ambient mic somewhere picking that up. And if you start putting in different effects or just different dynamics basically that don't match the ones that you've maybe already put onto it, if it's picking up onto it, it can sometimes sound a bit messy. So doing it this way I find makes it much neater, and it just keeps it really simple, and it gives me a nice clean quick overview. So this is the studio. I've got the Allen & Heath Q32 desk and Cubase 5 running from the laptop, which can then send and receive 32 channels simultaneously, so I can play away to my heart's content. I've got it all routed via USB from the desk to the laptop, and this is now a quick overview of just some of the funky things that this desk can do. That's the head amp, gates, parametric EQ, and then a little view of compressors and some real-time analyzer, and then onto some of the onboard effects that we can use with this desk. As I say, this is just a quick review just now. If you want a more in-depth one of the desk or any of the other gear mentioned here, I will do that in future. I've got a set of tannoys here which are pretty decent for the monitoring at home. They've got a pretty decent range from about 50Hz to about 18kHz, so that does the job. And the microphone I'm using of choice is an AKG C2000B, and it's got a little roll-off EQ for the bottom end, and it's also got a pad, a little 10dB reducer. And I've also got some lights set up to make the place look all pretty. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.